Just
Oh, okay, sorry.
Nope. It'll just take a minute. I'll let you know.
We'll go by orange time instead.
I like your background, Jeffrey. That's cool.
Oh, okay.
It is cool, yes, and breezy, yeah.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, great. We're live, and I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's great to see everybody. We'll do the roll call, and like we were talking about, PJ probably has got caught up with jury duty. So go ahead, Sam.
Okay, so roll call. Sorry. When I'm doing 5 things at once, I have to go back to that screen. All right. Commissioner Lay?
Here?
Commissioner Scher?
Here.
Commissioner Resnick?
Here.
Commissioner Meredith?
Here.
Vice Chair McDonald?
Here.
And Chair Caption?
Here.
And we'll let the record reflect as of right now. Oh, she's in the other room. Hold on just a second. Let me pull her.
Perfect. So
as soon as she's in here and can tell us she can hear and speak, then we can move right along. There she is. Hi, PJ. There you are.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I don't know what happened. I had everything up and I could see all of you guys, and I had I don't know, it was fine on my end. Sorry. Anyway.
That's okay.
That's okay. Great. It's great to see you. So we're just taking the roll call, and you want to ask her if she's here, Sam?
Commissioner Hudson.
Here.
All right, thank you.
There you go. That's great. Okay, next is the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag. Oh, Sam, yes, everybody should have a flag in their house. Okay, so I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
America,
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
Long live the king. Just teasing.
Yes, long live the king. And I should put it at half staff for the Queen's passing. Next is the adoption of the agenda. So is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, thank you.
I second it.
Great. And we need a roll call vote.
Yes. Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lay?
Approved.
Commissioner Scher?
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald?
Yes.
And Chair Caption?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next is approval of the minutes from our August 1st meeting. So I'll go ahead and move to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Yes, I second that.
Okay. Sam?
All right, Commissioner Hudson. Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
Yes, again, sorry. Commissioner Lay?
Approved.
Commissioner Scher?
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald?
Yes.
And Chair Caption?
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Now, Sam, is there any public comment on for us?
We have not received any public comment.
So moving on to administrative items. First off, this is the administrative review and potential approval of the new mustard celebration planning subcommittee. That's a mouthful.
All right. Sorry, I'm just opening it. So I can introduce it, and then obviously the subcommittee can discuss it, or the current people working on the project. So it is in our bylaws that all formal subcommittees must be approved by a vote of the commission, and then we have to appoint those members to the subcommittee. As you guys all know, we have been having a working group on this project that's really around the mustard celebration that has been kind of revitalized this year, and then even more so with planning coming into next year. And so the working group felt like, and Cindy as the chair and I as staff agreed that it was process related a good time to make this a formal subcommittee, as we see that it's something that will probably continue on for years. It also envelops the Hearts project that we've been working on, and with Rhonda spearheading, that we're also going to talk about later, pending that you approve this as a subcommittee, and then if not, we'll talk about it as a commissioner report. But so informally, that planning committee has been comprised of the chairs of the gallery, art walk, and marketing committees, who would be Vice Chair McDonald, and art walk would be Commissioner Scher, and marketing Commissioner Resnick, who all would like to continue participating with that project on the subcommittee at this time. And so I don't know if there's anything that I've missed that the current volunteers are interested in adding on, or if we just want to vote on this.
If I could add just a couple things. The mustard celebration was kind of begun to be reimagined last year, and a little fledgling, and I was attending meetings, just kind of watching it to see if we wanted to be a part of it. So it has, every day there's a new nuance this year for the 2023 mustard celebration. And all the chambers are in. Whitney has been coming to meetings. Visit Napa Valley is in. The Vintners Association is in, and all are going to be a part of the mustard celebration calendar. So in discussing that with Sam, we could have remained an ad hoc committee, but I personally believe that the mustard celebration is something that's going to be around for a while. And consequently, moving it into a full committee going forward was Sam's suggestion, and I agree. I've talked to Noelle and Jim, and they also agreed, and so that's where we are.
Yeah.
Any questions? Or?
Noelle.
I just wanted to say too that regardless of well, I don't want to say regardless of the Mustard Festival, but regardless of who else is involved, when we developed this, we really loved it as a project for Yountville Arts and the Yountville Arts Commission. And we feel that it really has legs. And if it's successful, as we hope it will be, that it will be going regardless of any other involvement with any other festivals, any other entities, that we really want to keep this one going. And it's really primarily Yountville Arts that really fits in very well with all the other festivals that are going on.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Jeff?
go ahead.
Jeff, go ahead.
I just wondered if the membership of the committee and the way it was composed, is it viewed as it would involve both the art walk and the gallery? Is that the kind of rationale for the composition?
I would say yes, Jeff. Mm-hmm. And as the Hearts program signifies, we have a gallery show on Find Your Hearts with art. Right. We'll talk about that later. And the Hearts are being distributed in the art walk. So it seemed natural. And of course, we always need strong marketing influence, and Noelle agreed to come on to it as well. In fact, it was Noelle and I conceptualizing it. Noelle came up with the Find Your Heart in Yountville, which is perfect. And we've been working on it ever since. So.
I'm happy to know who coined that term, because I love it. I think it's a fabulous coining of it. And I had forgotten about the project in the gallery, so it all makes sense to me. Thank you.
So Sam, correct me if I'm wrong. Have we formally voted on the gallery exhibit portion at this point? I thought we had, or we certainly have discussed it.
It's under, tonight, it's under, the art sip and stroll update. We put it there for the, no, wait. Yes, we did approve the gallery concept. I'm sorry. You've already approved that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, anybody, this is just to provide a little, a little more structure, formality to the committee. I think all the three people that are on it should stay on it. So I'm ready to make a motion that that the following commissioners be appointed to the Mustard Celebration Planning Subcommittee. Noel Resnick, Rhonda Shearer, and Jim McDonald.
I second that motion.
Okay. So,
okay.
So let's go ahead and vote.
Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lay?
Yes.
Commissioner Scheer?
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald?
Yes.
And Chair Caption.
Yes.
All right.
Great.
We'll learn more about that project later.
Okay, excellent. For those of you, so also just under administrative and regular items, when Sam and I went over the agenda, it was so full that we moved a couple things to our retreat, just, for those who kind of inside baseball. So we moved the discussion for chair and vice chair to our meeting, which is going to be a meeting and a retreat on October 3rd. That will have to be public. So we'll figure that out at the time. And then there's also a discussion about selfie stops that I wanted to bring forward. And that's going to be brought forward under commissioner comments or something outside of the subcommittee realm. So we moved those two things down the road just to allow, everybody to get dinner at a decent time and Judy to have a glass of wine at some point.
Cutting into my drinking time.
Yeah. All right, Jim.
That's not limited to Judy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for supporting me, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Jim.
So I have a question, and unfortunately I didn't attend the last retreat. I was just out of the hospital. But the retreats normally are also a time to look at subcommittee assignments, correct? So that'll be part of that discussion?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, usually we talk about it and we make some proposals, and then at the next meeting, if we move things around, we vote on it formally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point. Okay. Are there any other administrative or items? Okay. So let's move on to the art fund report.
Sure. I'm just going to share my screen quickly to go over that. So you should be able to see here the monthly financial statement as of August 31st, 2022. And this is not a whole lot of action going on as far as our revenue is concerned, just some minor. And then we had a couple of sales in the gallery that added up to that. And then as far as the expenses, we have about $8,000 in expenses that has gone out, and some of that was carryover from last fiscal year, just the way that our credit cards balance out. So we have not sold any or had any expense for art in this fiscal year so far. That was as of August. We will show some income in September for the last half of a sculpture that was sold. So you'll see that on the next report. And then the program, public art program fee, the restricted fund for the art walk. So our ending balance at the end of the fiscal year was just over 40,000. And we have had just a little bit of our normal monthly expenses and no real change there. And then I'll also share the Town of Yountville Community Foundation Fund for Yountville Arts. So our balance in that account is currently just over 60,600, and that does include the transfer of over $33,000 from art sales from last fiscal year. So we have a nice amount of money in that foundation account.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, doing well.
Awesome.
So happy to answer any questions. And we just move on.
No hands raised.
Do we have plans for that money? Are we thinking about buying another piece of art or?
So my recommendation right now is we kind of just hold on to that because we are seeing such a dip in what's coming into the art fund for the art walk. So that's the 1% valuation on commercial building permits, and we've definitely seen a slowdown in that. So I would caution to maybe hold on to that money in the foundation for a bit to just make sure that we can sustain the art walk until another major project comes online.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. When they build it, we are rich. when they don't build, then you know, we have the community foundation to rely on. So, okay. Any other questions? No. Okay. Let's move on to the art fund. I'm sorry, to the art walk subcommittee.
Okay. Are you going to show them on the screen, Sam?
I am. I made a little slideshow to flip through them for you, so I'll go ahead and show you that. So this is our first one.
Cool.
So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about these. I gave you the basics as to what the material is and the dimensions. And if you have no question, Sam, do we do individual voting or can we?
Yes. So these are all individuals, so so we can flip through them. And sorry, I'm just doing two things at once. So this one is vows.
Right.
Just a reminder, bronze with stainless steel. It's 98 inches high, 600 pounds. Yeah.
And this does have a story, which I can get into if you want to. I'm concerned about everybody's time. But as you can see from the sculpture that Joshua, who's the artist, and I are in, it's a pretty moxie sculpture. I was surprised at his dimensions because it has a lot of presence. And these, with the exception of one from Adam Weedman, these were all sculptures from the Loveland Sculpture Festival in Colorado that I recently attended. So, so Val is the first one, and you're gonna go, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can take them. I think we should just take them one by one and then ask any questions and vote, or do you want to go through them all and then come back?
Well, do we have room for all of these or are we just picking a certain amount?
No, we have room, and actually there are other artists that I'm talking to, but I thought 7 was enough. But we have 8 sculpture pads available now. Oh, we have another, I think it's 12 available between January and June of 2023. So some of these sculptures may go in our bank. There may be overlap of where one sculpture could go, but another sculpture could go. So the idea for me, and I think the art walk committee, is to approve them if you do, and then we'll decide at committee level exactly where each sculpture is going to go. And happy to report back next meeting or however Sam feels it's appropriate. Mostly, I think we would like to get it moving because we haven't had an installation since spring, I think.
Is the butterflies?
The butterfly, yeah, you're right. So it's been, I think that was at least in the spring. I don't think it was any later than that. So we've had a lot of open pads. And we absolutely have room for all of these or some of them. Like I said, I would like to have them all in the bank. because they're all good sculptures. And there were some that I reviewed wanting to participate, artists wanting to participate, and for one reason or another, they just didn't seem appropriate. But we have these coming forward. And as I said, there will be others as they get worked out. They most likely will be next year for installation.
Thank you.
So is there a preference just to run through them all and then come back and vote? Or do you want to, I mean, we have to vote on them individually, but.
Let's vote as we go then.
Okay. So we have vows.
Okay. I move that we accept vows. Is it, I don't know, is it vows or vow?
Vows. Yeah.
Vows. Okay, I move that we accept vows to the art walk. Okay.
We have Cindy, motion, Judy seconds. All right, we're going to be doing a lot of roll call votes. It's unfortunate this wasn't next month where you could all be in person and just say aye, but that's okay. Here we go. Commissioner Hudson.
Yes.
Commissioner Lay.
Approve.
Commissioner Scher.
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald.
Yes.
And Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, next up is Raven's Story. So let me share again.
And this is the same artist that designed Bows. This is a smaller piece, and we do have a couple of pads open now that a smaller piece would be appropriate for. So
my only question is to make sure that that ball is very secure. Because we've had balls walk away before, you know, that glass one.
Sure, I can discuss that with him, Sam.
Yeah.
It's the same as the one in Vows. It's bolted, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
But I can ask him.
Okay, well, I move that we approve the second sculpture from Joshua Pass, Raven Story.
I second it.
Okay. I have to catch up. All right, I have a motion from Cindy, second from Jeff. All right, Commissioner Hudson.
Yes.
Commissioner Lay.
Yes.
Commissioner Scher.
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick.
Yes.
And Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald.
Yes.
And Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So next up is Sarvanja. Am I saying that right? Okay.
Yes. Sarvanja.
Sarvanja.
So this is a sculpture. You may recognize the artist and the technique by our friend Bruce Guzwell. I got to go through both his studios in Loveland, and this was a piece. He had it in the rock formations, which I love, but it was sold just prior to this event. So this piece, I thought, I think we have a perfect place for it. And so it's available now. Bruce will, right now it's just sitting on that piece of wood, but Bruce will design a stand of some kind. We're discussing not a platform, not as tall as a pedestal, but would be something we can then bolt to the pad. So.
Okay, there's no discussion. I'll move that we accept for Sarvanja from Bruce Guzwell for the artwork.
I second that.
I think the stand should be a yoga mat.
I'll mention that.
So that was moved by Cindy?
Yeah, and seconded by Judy.
Judy? Okay, thank you. All right, Commissioner Hudson.
Yes.
Commissioner Lay.
Approve.
Commissioner Scher.
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick.
Big yes.
Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald.
Yes.
Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Wind Whisper. Well, let me get the share. That is this one.
So this is a larger piece from Bruce, and he's actually submitted two. The second one, by Faith, is a smaller piece. This is a full scale as the dimensions reveal, stainless, and happy to answer any questions regarding this one.
My only question was, and I think I can show it with the pointer, is these look very sharp. And I know up here it's obviously quite tall, but around the back here, I'm just hoping that that one isn't short, because it seems like it is, or is it sharp because it seems like it is lower.
And I don't have the dimensions in front of me, Sam.
Okay.
But it is quite tall.
Yeah. I would just want to make sure, like, that lowest one, the lowest on the back of the picture isn't at, kind of like an eye level type sharpness. Or if it is, we would find a site, where it's on the back.
The top, I can answer it. It's not at eye level.
Yeah.
The bottom, the circle that you're referring to, I'd have to get specifics from the artist.
Okay. Just as a safety point of view that,
Sure.
Obviously we don't want someone running into that. Because this one is quite
So
large.
that's Wind Whisper. Any other questions or comments, or we go to a vote? Looks like nobody's.
I think my only comment is that some of these materials are quite similar. I'm assuming, Judy, you would separate these out in different ways and have some space between them.
As far as
I can answer that. That's why we're asking for them to be approved in this manner, not with a specific location, because we have sculptures leaving and sculptures coming in. So even what you see now with the whole of the art walk will change. So when we get past that, Cindy and Judy and I sit down and say, okay, here's what we have available. This is available now, etc. We'll be able to weigh the materials. But I don't see that we're going to have stainless after each one of them. It'll depend on the locations available. And it just happened that this group came in, but the others that I'm looking at are different materials, more colorful.
Yeah, even the last one is quite different from these others, I think, but I assumed that was true. I just wanted to state that. And I'm sorry I addressed that to Judy when I should have addressed it to you, Rhonda. Apologies.
No Sorry.
Hey, okay. No other questions or, oh, I thought PJ. It's hard to tell. I see somebody move and I feel like they're going to say something.
I was just putting glasses back on.
Okay. So with her glasses on, if I make a motion for Wind Whisper, PJ, will you second it?
Yes,
or I make a motion for Wind Whisper and I need a second.
Yes, I second.
PJ.
Yes, I second that.
Yes.
So I have a motion from Cindy, a second from PJ, and a roll call vote. Commissioner Hudson.
Yes.
Commissioner Lay.
Approve.
Commissioner Scher.
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald.
Yes.
And Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, next up is
By Faith.
By Faith.
So this is Bruce Nemi again. This is a smaller piece. And again, in looking for balance, we do have locations that will take smaller pieces. But it's still, to address Sam's potential concern, the height of it would be, I mean, it's pretty tall. It's just thin. I think it's 6 feet, isn't it, Sam?
Let me check.
And then plus it has the platform as the base.
So that one. Okay, so that one, yeah, is 6'6" and 6.5 feet tall. Yeah.
I can address the safety concerns with this sculpture as well. I saw this one in particular, and it's pretty sturdy. It didn't impress me as being a hazard in any way, but now that you mention it, it's worth double checking with the artist.
Yeah. And not that it's an automatic out, it's just placement of it, could also be part of what we take into consideration if it's not right on a walkway or accessible. So.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. There's no
I
other
move to approve.
Great.
By faith.
Second it.
Okay, so I have a motion from Rhonda and a second from Jeff. Is that Jeff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Multitasking at its best right here. All right. Commissioner Hudson.
Yes.
Commissioner Lay.
Approve.
Commissioner Scher.
Approved.
Commissioner Resnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Vice Chair McDonald.
Yes.
And Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, next up is an untitled sculpture by Adam Wiedemann, correct?
Weidman.
Oh, now I'm sharing the wrong screen. Hold on. Sharing us. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. So this is the one where Cindy is in comparison.
The sculpture's on the right.
I motion we pick Cindy.
Thank you. I knew that's going to cost a lot more.
Adam's sculptures to me, or his images, I'm sorry, just didn't really describe the piece. I was surprised at really how tall it is when we got there. Mm-hmm. So having Cindy in the image, to me, it would give you a better sense of scale that we got when we were at his studio. And we'll work on a title with him. I think
that's pretty cool. I like the shadow that it's casting on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like a wishbone.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
really
in
cool.
Calistoga?
He's in Calistoga. And I'd also like to point out, Cindy sent letters to the local sculptors that I can't remember how you defined those sculptures, but Adam was one of them. He has several sculptures around Napa. He works a lot with Aaron Martin. So we know him to be a pretty credible guy. And we were happy. It took us a while to meet with him for one reason or another, but we were happy that he had sculpture. He called it in from another location and he's ready to go.
So I have a question. The finish from the photo is either a little bit of paint or it's a little bit of rust. Can you describe that?
It's a patina. It has bronze. Sam, again, you've got all the descriptions. I don't have them in front of me. But I believe stainless and bronze, and the bronze would be then patinaed. It will weather. It has weathered. So it has a difference in appearance than all the stainless ones, Jeff. It comes off as more bronze.
Yeah,
Right.
it's steel with a bronze patina, and it's 101 inches high.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and move that we approve the untitled sculpture, Cindy's Friend. By artist Adam Weidman for the art walk. Yes. Well, okay, just untitled. Yeah.
Second it.
Okay, so motion, second from Jeff. Commissioner Hudson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lay,
Approve.
Commissioner Share,
Approved.
Commissioner Resnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith,
Yes to the wishbone.
Vice Chair McDonald,
Yes.
and Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so last up is Stock Market by artist Philippe. Is it Philip or Philippe?
Philippe.
Philippe.
He's very French.
No, I can't say his last name. That was it. I love this. Okay.
So there is a story behind this, and when I first saw it, I thought it was a cello. The story really about Philippe is how he brings in music and a musical presence in pretty much all of his sculptures. His interior size sculptures, which is mostly what he had at this show, are fabulous. If you have a chance to look him up, they're so thoughtful. They're wood, and they're fabulous. And again, he uses the violin in this particular body. Stock market has to do with the ups and downs of the stock market, and the violin kind of Crimea River, I guess. So it's bright and it's colorful, and it's fiberglass, so it's sturdy, but also easy to ship. They're in Vermont, I think. And this one I would like to move quickly on. He works his small pieces with driftwood. So they go into the Caribbean for about 4 months, November to May, and find driftwood for him to continue to sculpt with the rest of the year. So I'd like to see if we can move this one along before they leave in November.
I love that one. It's very Dali-esque.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I move we approve this sculpture.
I second.
All right, so the motion. Just so you know, if you're new here, I'm doing something on the computer end while you're voting. So that's why I take so long. Okay, so a motion from Jeff and a second from PJ, and we'll vote. Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lay?
Approve.
Commissioner Share?
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
We.
Vice Chair McDonald?
Yes.
And Chair Caption.
Yes.
And I just would like to thank Rhonda for being so very busy and all of the things that she's working on. But we've never brought this many sculptures forward at one time. So we're going to be busy.
Amazing.
But,
Awesome.
yeah,
I agree with that.
I second that.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Believe me, it's all a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, next is the gallery subcommittee.
Okay.
That's you, Jim.
So we have a schedule in this agenda packet, but I'm just going to mention that we have Jose till the end of the month, and we may be doing an evening with him at the end of the month. He wanted to re-invite some people that hadn't been at the opening. And then the Art of the Blend opens on October 6th. And I guess I want to ask either Rhonda or Noelle whether you want to say anything about that exhibit. You were both involved in setting that up.
It's moving along nicely. We're just waiting the installation at this point. I think Sam, I believe all the images that she sent have been the right resolution.
Yeah.
And Jim wrote a great PR press release, so we got that moving, and everything is working. Noelle's been working closely with Jessup on the marketing side, so I'll turn it over to Noelle.
Is this for the full marketing report or just for the marketing on Art of the Blend?
Art of the Blend.
You don't want to wait till the marketing report?
Oh, I don't.
I'm happy to do it now. Let me just pull up my notes. First of all, I wanted to say the press release went out next door today in English and Spanish, which was very nice. Thank you, Jim. And I've already placed it in the Napa Valley Marketplace, the Chamber newsletter. It's in Napa Valley Life. And Jessup has their whole chain of marketing also, so that they will be putting it in all their publications. And I've tried to stay in contact. I have stayed in contact with them, so we're not doing double duty, so it doesn't show up 2 times in the same place, which is not necessary. 1 time is sufficient. And also they created beautiful gallery cards, which I just picked up. So they have them in both of their tasting rooms, in Jessup and in handwritten, and they put them in at the Chamber at the Visitor Center. And then I picked up a new batch of them and I dropped them off with Sam. So I'm assuming we might put them in the gallery, community center, or wherever else you'd like. And we'll be able to get more. And the great thing is they're going to introduce another card, which will have the Blending Passions on the back side of the card. So we'll get a whole new stack of those. That'll be the gallery show for the long term, and then the event on the back of it. So those will all be placed in the same location. So we'll get a lot of good promotion with that. And that's it for Jessup. They're just wonderful partners with us. We've really been enjoying working with them. They're very responsive and really catering to all of our needs and making it a real win-win for them too.
Okay, thank you, Noel. And that's pretty much it for gallery. You're going to hear about another gallery exhibit during the Art Sip and Stroll update. So I won't get into that. So that should do it.
Okay, great. So keep going, Jim. You're on the literary subcommittee. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Okay, we changed the chair of the literary subcommittee. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know if Jeff's ready, wants to take it on tonight or not.
When that happens, Sam, we don't have to vote on the chairs of the subcommittees or anything. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no. So, Jeff, do you want to take this one or want me to?
Go ahead, I'll defer.
Okay, but Jeff is the new chair, so he will be taking this over, and he'll also be the host or MC for Yountville Out Loud, which is this Thursday at 5:30 in the Community Center Plaza. And the only other thing we have is the approval of a literary event proposed by PJ. And so, PJ, do you want to talk about it?
Sure, yeah. Sam, I know I sent you that link. I don't know if you want to play that for everyone.
Yeah, I have that ready to go. Do you want me to do it now?
Yeah, so Steve Snyder authored a book called Shot Down. And it's the story about his father, Howard Snyder, whose B-17 plane was knocked out of the sky in 1944 over Belgian territory. So anyway, yeah, go ahead, and it's just a quick little snippet.
So yeah, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
So I'm just starting a little late into it and doing a little bit of a modified one.
My dad was a 17 pilot. His plane was named the Susan Ruth after my older sister, who was 1 year old at the time that he went overseas. He and his crew were shot down over occupied Belgium on February 8th of 1944. And I wrote a book about it called Shot Down, the true story of pilot Howard Snyder and the crew of the B-17 Susan Ruth. It goes into detail about what happened to each member of the crew and about all the courageous Belgian people that risked their lives trying to help them. They were shot down by 2 Focke-Wulf German fighters, and 2 of the men were killed in the plane, the ball turret gunner and radio operator. The other 8 men were able to bail out. B-17 had a 10-man crew. After my father bailed out, he came down in some trees just at the French-Belgian border in Macanoise, and his parachute was hung up in some trees and was dangling 20 feet off the ground and couldn't get down. But fortunately for him, a couple of young Belgian men, Henri Plankin and Raymond Durvin, came to his rescue before the Germans got there. And after that, he was moved from place to place to place. How often he stayed in any given house depended on how brave the Belgian people were who lived there, and how dangerous the Belgian underground thought it was for him to stay there. He might stay at a house one night, he might stay 6 weeks. That was awfully stressful for him because the German secret police, the Gestapo, could break in at any time, and he had some close calls almost being discovered. And then finally, he got tired of hiding. Word came that the Allies had landed in Normandy on June 6th, and so he decided to get back in the fight. And he joined up with the French resistance, the Maquis. His Belgian helpers took him across the border into France. And there they harassed the Germans. They would disrupt communications, sabotage railroad lines, attack German convoys. And finally, 75 years later from today, September 2nd, 1944, word came that the U.S. troops were in the nearby village of Trelone, France. Actually, it was elements of Patton's Third Army, which had come up through France after D-Day. And so he walked into town, up to an army major, identified himself. They interrogated him to make sure that he was who he said he was. He caught a convoy to Paris and then took a C-47 transport back to his base in England.
So that gives you just a little idea of what the story is. It's a pretty riveting story. What Steve will bring with his presentation is it's all done with photographs. So he said his presentation is maybe 45 minutes with Q&A from anyone in the audience, but it's all a story told in pictures. So he's got basically like a slideshow that he will deliver, a PowerPoint, but he said there's no text in any of it. It's just he guiding us through a whole pictorial journey of this. I think we proposed, Sam, a date of February 11th, which is very close to the actual anniversary date as well of when his dad was shot down. And I thought, given that, we have the veterans home here, and I think maybe even still a couple of World War II vets still, at the home, that this would be a pretty neat story also to promote and maybe get some of them in attendance as well.
And PJ, your timing is within the Mustard Festival window. So if the commission approves it and you can send me the details, I can enter it on the calendar.
Okay.
So it will go out much wider than Yountville.
Okay. And I understand, and this may be something that all of you already know, but it was I was talking to someone at the vets home the other day, and they said they have their own closed circuit TV KVET, and they said they could promote this also through that medium as well to members of the veterans home.
Are we able to live stream it at all to the vets home?
You know what? That's a question I had too. I don't know, but that's something to investigate. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, is this gentleman local? Is this someone you know?
It's someone I used to work with. He's a former colleague of mine and
Great.
Lives down in Southern California. Is he in Laguna Niguel or Seal Beach or somewhere down in that vicinity?
Terrific.
Yeah, we can explore that. I know we've worked together with KVET before to film things. I'm not sure if they have live streaming capability, but if the author is open to it, we maybe could get it filmed at least to show up there. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah. So I was talking to one of my friends who lives at the veterans home the other day, and he did say if we needed contacts, he could get us in contact with the people that are in charge of that there, of the KVET.
Where are you thinking of holding this, PJ?
I think just in the community center.
That would be the Heritage Room, or
maybe at the hall, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we were looking at the community hall.
Yeah, the hall, I guess is, yeah.
And PJ, the author is going to have books available for purchase and signing, right?
Correct. Yes. He will bring those.
Is this self-published or?
It is self-published. And he's been traveling the world delivering this story. I think he's been over to Belgium at least a half a dozen times and traveled extensively. And I think it's a very worthy story to be told, especially, you know, to younger generations who maybe aren't familiar with, you know, what transpired and, you know, what these heroes had to withstand.
And the author is covering his expenses to get here?
Yes.
Okay.
So if there are no other questions, I guess I'd like to propose that we approve the literary event with Steve Snyder with his book, Shot Down.
I second that.
So we have a motion and a second.
I just have one question though. Maybe there is some way to get like some guys from the veterans home to be part of this as well. Maybe we can, you know, like recognize them or award them.
I agree. I was going to say, I don't know, you know, the health and mobility of the, you know, the surviving World War II veterans that are still at the home. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's 2 or 3 or 4 maybe. And I think if it's possible to incorporate that in, it would be marvelous to honor them, you know, during this presentation.
And we can at least make the invitation and see what we can do. I think that would be wonderful.
Yes.
It'd be nice to have any veterans in attendance.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll work with, I have a lot of contacts up there. We'll work with them closely to see how we can make that easy, whether it's getting, you know, the trolley going around there or whatever. So we'll work on that. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I would picture it similar. It would be a free event, but that we might take have people buy a ticket, but it's free. So we
we'll
can
have them register to attend.
Yeah, so we can have a good count.
I think so, yeah, because I really do think it's something that would be popular. I mean, you know, people that I've talked to about it have thought, you know, yes, it's something they would be very interested in attending.
And then we capture their information. So something we haven't done with our book events, but I think it's good to, you know, capture people's information and however we can. So. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Commissioner Hudson.
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Lay.
I second. I'll second that.
I think we had a Jim motion. Did we have a second already?
Sure, we had a
I
second.
seconded it.
Oh, Judy seconded it. Okay.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Vote Noel.
The event's happening. That's all that matters.
Did you call me, Sam?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Resnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Commissioner Vice Chair McDonald?
Yes.
And Chair Caption. You're muted, Cindy.
Sam, I didn't hear you call my name.
Did I skip you?
Oh.
Commissioner Lay?
Approve?
And Chair Caption, now that you're not.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And I just want to really thank PJ. I think she, out of the gate, is the quickest person to bring a program through in Yountville arts history. So.
I'm trying. I'm excited to be a part of it, you know, and I guess maybe I'm trying to be to hone my way into being on the literary subcommittee. I don't know.
I think you're there. I think you're there.
I think you're there, and I think there's room too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I was going to say,
you.
I do have to report for jury duty tomorrow, so I don't know what the rest of my schedule will be. But Jeff, if I'm able to, I will be happy to come and help you, support you on Thursday at Yountville Out Loud.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other, when you know, I was at the Veterans Home for 16 years. So, and Sam has worked with the activities folks up there. And if there's a way to get somebody to something, they will, you know, they'll find a way. Also, on the flip side, though, PJ, when Steve comes, you might want to schedule a tour at the Veterans Home for him. You know, they've been pretty restrictive about who can go in and out, but
I was going to say they have been. So yeah, I mean, that's something I would love to look into. I would love to.
Yeah, but it would be cool for him to just, you know, it's an interesting place.
Yeah,
it's a cool place.
If
So
you haven't watched that whole video, it gets even more interesting in my opinion that he traveled back to actually meet the people who shot down his dad's plane, and he met them, and I think that's really interesting.
It's a pretty fascinating story. I hope that you guys will be able to, you know, make it to the event when he comes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all support each other as much as we can. Next is, okay, so that's the end for literary. Thank you, Jen.
Yes.
Thank you, PJ. Marketing and PR subcommittee, a general update from Noel. You're on mute.
I never understand how people do that. I'm going to start with a general update with my partner Rhonda on this. We're going to do some show and tell. First thing, I know I've shared this with everyone, but it was so wonderful. We're going to share it again for everybody who may be watching or reviewing at a later date. We had such a beautiful layout in Napa Valley Napa Valley Life magazine for Art Sip and Stroll. They did a full page with text and with photographs, and it was in the food and wine issue, which is really nice. And we were the first story up, so that was really great. It really was. It was a lot of fun to see that, and especially when you see it in the magazine, you just open it up and there it is. So a lot of thank yous also to them. They really support the arts, and it's been wonderful working with them. And then also, Rhonda, I guess, gave a brief little interview quite a while ago, and actually sort of wasn't thinking about it when suddenly a 3-page article popped up inside Napa Valley. So.
Wow.
We've got a really nice story there if you want to share on that a little bit.
It's all on the art walk, and I, who asked to please not be quoted, she has quoted me, but I guess that's what happens. Anyway, yeah, it was extensive. She explained it was going to be on transportation, this whole magazine, which I think has changed, but fortunately she's stuck with the art walk. And I sent her various materials, the artist information and the materials that had been developed, and she used quite a lot of it. So it's a great article. The Inside Napa Valley, I see it's around to be picked up. Mine came in the mail. So anyway, it's more coverage for the art walk.
Absolutely. And then my other honorary partner in marketing, Ms. Captain, our chair, was working with Napa Sonoma magazine. And I believe you must have been interviewed, correct?
Yes.
And then also I was contacted. I'm not sure what your subject matter was, Cindy, but I was asked to talk about the success of the Yountville Arts Commission and what it means to Yountville. And I don't know if we were both asked the same or if it was more of a general article. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
It's going to come out in November. So we tried to just highlight what was going to be in the gallery then, and Art Sip and Stroll. It was really, I think, the result of the success of Rhonda, of the legacy, because at that event, the editor for the Napa Sonoma magazine was there, and she was, you know, like really impressed. And so, you know, it's kind of like the snowball effect. But anyhow, so yeah, it'll be a nice article, I'm sure. She's a good writer, and that's good.
That's great. I remember talking to her at Schmidt, and she wasn't sure how she would work us in. So bravo to you guys. You know, all the marketing, I just have to say kudos, because it's fabulous. And it didn't happen overnight. These are relationships that are made along the way. And Noelle's really great about keeping those relationships and reminding them about us all the time. So,
and also reminding everybody, feel free. Relationships are important, and we all have different relationships, and we welcome all these relationships and these great opportunities. These are major publications, and once again, yes, marketing is wonderful, but unless you have something wonderful to market, no one's very interested in what you're sending out to them. So many kudos, I think, just to the entire Arts Commission for the wonderful projects that we've been working on, as seen just by Rhonda's project, and then being picked up and awareness coming from Napa Sonoma. So it's just it's once again win-win for all of us, which I love. Let's see. We went through Art of the Blend. Yountville Out Loud is coming up. I've been blasting it out on on Nextdoor, which has been a lot of fun and getting a lot of hearts back on that. It's also in Napa Valley Life. It's also in Napa Valley Marketplace. The Chamber is promoting it. So we've got some really good coverage on that. I think I'll send one more out either Wednesday or Thursday to really harass everybody into coming on Nextdoor. It's really fun. Shop the Yountville Art Walk. Oh, wait, well, let's go back to Napa Valley Live for a second. I forgot to mention something. We got so taken with all our coverage. 2023 Best of Napa Valley issue will be coming next year. And last year we were in the top 3 with the best art collection and galleries. And we were in the top 3 without any solicitation and without any of us knowing about it. So this year, I'm telling you all, we can vote and we can have our friends vote. And if you go to the digital issue of Napa Valley Life, and you click on the part that says you'll see Best of Napa Valley, and then you click on that, and then it goes to a ballot. So we can vote, and there's a Best Galleries and Art section. You can vote on lots of things, but let's be sure to vote on that one in particular. It's really a lot of fun, and just keep promoting it, because I mean, I know we were all very excited last year to be totally surprised by being in the top 3. So that was really wonderful. Shop the Yountville Art Walk for holidays in Yountville. We've been working on that for a while, and just came up with a new cover for the holiday issue. So that gives us 2 covers now that we can rotate back and forth. This is the new one. We're just so pleased with this.
I love it.
It's just fun and different. Initially, we were talking about something with Chaos Pamplona and Santa flying over it. And I have to say, Michael Aronson, who is just amazing and a sweetheart and loves Yountville Arts and just works with us in such a way that we can work with him. He created this all in terms of more like a painting rather than actual photographs and everything. And we're really pleased. We're really, really pleased about this. And this is our marketing budget working for us. I know we approved it a while ago, and we're just really happy with the way this one came out. So now we'll have 2 different covers, and we'll also, then we have the mustard cover that will be for the spring season. As soon as the holiday season that we did last year, we can use that again because it'll fit in perfectly with mustard season. And I have to say too, that in addition to promoting Shop the Yountville Art Walk, what it is first and foremost, it's a catalog for the Art Walk, a catalog where you can flip through the pages and really look at it. We have our Art Walk map, which is lovely, but you have to really kind of struggle to see it and zoom in on it and look at it. But when you can flip through the pages of a catalog and really enjoy it, I think it does a lot to enhance just visibility for the Art Walk. Sales also, I know Rhonda keeps getting calls and inquiries, and unbeknownst to us at times is selling. So I think once again it's been a real positive catalog for us, and certainly support of the Yountville Chamber of Commerce for holidays in Yountville, and it's just fun and innovative. So I hope you enjoy that as much as we did. Creating it and then seeing what it turned out to be, because it was a total surprise to us when we saw it. It was just something above and beyond what we were even imagining. So that's exciting for us. Find Your Heart in Yountville. Sam has been reaching out to those of us on the committee, and we're going to have a marketing meeting and coming up soon, I believe. We haven't heard the date yet, but with Taylor to help us along, and we'll see what we can do to continue the promotion on that and really make it a great event. As I said, it's truly a Yountville Arts event, and folding into then the Mustard Festival is going to be wonderful. And once again, you know, working with the town and working with the chamber, as Rhonda said, Whitney has been to some of the meetings for this with Visit Napa Valley and Napa, and she reached out to us to have a meeting to talk about how we might market our event within the bigger event. The town of Yountville has a special mustard season weekend, which is February 24th through the 25th, and where they're going to really promote the Yountville program. And then they will also promote it throughout the whole Mustard Festival, not just the one-off, but they'll work with us to really promote it. They love what we're doing with the glass hearts. So once again, we'll be working together and trying to create something as wonderful as we can with all of our participation. And also, the chamber was also talking about having something possibly like a brunch at Shandon, or having a partner, having a lunch, a tasting, some sort of other event that she's going to work on. And then we will fold it into to both programs, the overall Yountville Mustard Festival and then our Find Your Heart in Yountville Festival. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Napa Sonoma.
You can hide some hearts at Shandon.
Yeah, right. That'll be fun. The selfie stand is up. The first selfie stand is up. I appreciate everybody's kind words about it and all the fun aspect of it. I know we have some more things to talk about regarding that, which if we have time today, we can do that, or we can do it when we have our retreat and our meeting then. I think, well, not I think, I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Danielle, maybe day 2 when she gets over to the chamber, and see what we can do about getting some photos going. And I'll work with her, because what's wonderful is the chamber is really has a whole new marketing campaign on Instagram. They have it on Pinterest. They have it on TikTok. So just any little bits that we can put together, showing people enjoying it and putting their phones on the stand. I mean, what's really nice is everybody can be in the picture. We all know when those of us who have husbands and friends, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, one of us is always the photographer and the other one is never in the picture. So this is a wonderful opportunity with our selfie stands to get everybody in the picture. And I know the chamber is going to promote it, and anything that we do for them, we can certainly share. And certainly whatever we do within Yountville Arts, we can share. So we have some really nice social media going out. And then I know we're all looking forward to Sidewalk Judge, since everybody seems to just love that. And always is showing that the love. But you know, what's nice is when people come to Yountville and they see something like Sidewalk Judge, or they see wine, it just brings a heightened awareness of our sculptures on the art walk. It's just making everybody look good, and it's just promoting everyone. So I'm really pleased with the way that came up. Thank you, Sam. It's really beautiful. And I can't tell you how much fun it was. I wasn't expecting it, and I opened my email that day, and there you were in the first picture with the selfie stand. and that put such a big smile on my face that day. Not so much that it was done, but to see you there using it was really a lot of fun. You had such a big smile on your face. One more thing.
We are actually starting to get tagged in photos. So Taylor has reposted a couple. So people that are using our hashtags. So that's pretty exciting. That's
terrific. And then Judy brought up Canvas, which is Concierge Alliance of Napa Valley and Sonoma. I don't know. I think you're probably all familiar, but those who are not, it's really a newsletter, and it's an alliance of people in hospitality. It's hotels, it's restaurants, it's wineries, tasting rooms, it's the arts, it's Napa Valley Museum and DeRosa right now. And Judy was looking into the possibility of consideration for using them for promotion for the arts here in Yountville. And I looked into it further. I know you had a conversation with Colby, and then I followed up with a conversation with Colby to find out more about it. And we get a lot of opportunities if we become a member. I'm not soliciting it at this point. I'm just sharing all the information, and then we can discuss it. Once again, there is funding in the marketing committee, but if we're going to do something like this, it would be nice for everybody to be on board. With Canvas, you have their weekly newsletter, which goes out. If you are a member and you post something on the calendar, they put your pictures up at the top of the page, so that's always nice. They have connect events where they involve members of the trade, and then we can promote our different events. We can have a table at the event to talk about Yountville arts and to hand things out. They have research days, which I think you brought up, Judy, where they'll bring people to town to tour, and they'll pick a few different entities, one of which could be the Art Walk and the Gallery, Yountville Arts overall.
And they're concierges. So that's the thing that's, I think, so great and so far-fetched reaching, is because they are concierges, they can recommend the art walk and everything.
Exactly. And that is their goal, is to bring positive experiences to people who want to visit town. So primarily it's for visitors, but that doesn't mean it's not for people who are here also, because we attend our own events, and we're also trying to attract others from out of town to come to our events. So it's a great situation. Their newsletters come out every week. I like them. I like them because I like to know what's going on in town, and I assume everybody who is subscribed to it also likes to know what's going on in town. The more you can share. Well, here's a great part. The subscription is $600 a year. It's not a whole year. It's not prorated. Whenever you start, you pay again in a year. But because we are a 501c3, Judy, we can have membership for $300. And we can have membership, Parks and Rec can have membership. We can also split it from our budget, and Parks and Rec is a possibility. We can certainly further discuss this. But under Parks and Rec, we can promote Yountville Arts, and we could promote other events. So it's a question of how we put it all together. But the way I'm seeing it now, it should be $300 for a 1-year membership. And are there any other questions about that? I think I covered it all.
You don't want to discuss, voting on paying, doing it now?
We don't have to, apparently. I talked with Sam, and the fact is that marketing money has been approved.
Okay,
it's been approved to be in the budget. So it's more or less, let's talk about it. Does anybody have questions or thoughts about the value of it to us and Parks and Rec?
I also think the one thing that needs to be brought up too is that you talked about the research days, but we have an opportunity to do a lot of fam tours with all these concierges and people. So I think that's a great opportunity.
Definitely.
If I could just say, I have Colby, I've known Colby for a long time. She's very good. She's put this together. It's a fabulous opportunity, but it is ever so focused on hotels and wineries. So the burden becomes, if Judy is introducing this, perhaps she will head that committee so that Colby is constantly fed information for these weekly, because if she isn't, it won't appear. And then the value to us is lessened.
When I talked to Colby, though, I asked her about how this works with the promotion, and she said that basically you don't want to over promote. You want to, like when we have an event like Out Loud coming up, we might want to tease it a little bit before and then promote it the week of. somewhat like what we do in the chamber newsletter, but she said that they have found that promoting it every week is not necessary and not recommended. So yes, we do have to feed the beast. Absolutely.
Yeah, and someone needs to take that on. So I don't know, Noelle, if you are willing to, or Judy is, but I think somebody needs to be the one who gives it to Colby the way she wants it when she needs it. But it is something that we can't just go to sleep on.
No, absolutely.
The value.
No, it will be taken care of if we move forward with that. And Sam, I believe you have things that you would also like to promote through Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there are things that make sense for us, like events and even the community center rentals. So as people contact lodging properties needing rental or meeting spaces. So, I mean, I think
Now,
we can split that.
If we have a subscription through, you know, the Arts Commission, will we be able to see it?
Oh, you just sign up for a newsletter.
Yeah.
Is that
the
what you meant?
newsletter is free.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
mere
okay.
mortals.
I thought it was like Paul Franson's thing where
no. Just go on the site and sign up for it. You'll start getting the weekly newsletters.
Great.
And absolutely. And actually we can't even post on their calendar, just like I post on different calendars, and I'm not members to things. However, if we were to become a member, they'll put our pictures up at the top of the page as they're coming up for posting. So it seems, I mean, Rhonda's right. It is hospitality, and we do have DeRosa in it. We have the Napa Valley Museum. It's not a lot of arts, but at the same time, I think we would sort of stand out with our events because I think they're appealing to everybody who's visiting. And I think to show that we have such a vigorous arts program is really important to people in hospitality, because we're all really working for each other here within the Concierge Alliance.
Right?
Pardon?
We are hospitality.
Absolutely.
So,
right. But we're not a hotel and we're not a winery, and that's the focus.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, those are good points.
Yeah, and that's why we're here to discuss it. And I don't know where we move from here, Sam.
Well, I feel like it's worth a try for at least a year and see what our bang for our buck is. I do agree that, you know, we don't necessarily fit into what I think is their norm, but I signed up for their newsletter years ago just because of the event listings, because I like to keep, you know, track of that in event calendars. So I think there's a lot of people like me who may not technically be in or looking for the wine industry or lodging that have interest in some of the events and stuff that they promote as well. So I think it's a fairly inexpensive membership. It is, our 501c3 is technically the Town of Yountville Community Foundation. So we'll have to talk with Colby on how we will actually be listed, because that's not our preference, is to be, I wouldn't prefer to be listed as that. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But it's, you know, we do have a marketing budget is within that budget. I have a marketing budget for Parks and Rec, so I think sharing that, if it makes sense to share it where we can both have some way to be listed, then that's great. If not, I think we'll just, you know, try it out for a year with Yountville Arts, would be my suggestion, and it is already within your approved budget. So
I understand you don't need our permission or approval, but Noelle, I would encourage you to try it for a year. I agree with Sam. I think it's worth trying for a year at that price.
Well, that would be wonderful. I think once you have a chance to look at it, I will send you all a link to the website, and then it'll be easier for you. Sometimes it's difficult to find it. I was always looking, bless you, under Canvas. And I think you have to look under Concierge Alliance. Once you know that, it's real easy. But I'll send all of you the link and you can look at it. It's really, for those of you who like to stay in the know, I agree. I think there's lots of residents, visitors, non-hospitality entities that read it, because it tells what's going on in town and all kinds of events. So you can look at it for yourselves, and I think you'll see, at least for a year, it's worthwhile to try it out. And once again, our community center people come to the hotels to book weddings, to book events. I think our community center is certainly hospitality in terms of a place to have a wedding or have a party or have a corporate meeting. So we're a good space. So I think that fits the bill there too, even though that's not Yountville Arts Commission. But it's the least we can do, Sam, for all that you do for us. And I think that's it. I think that's it for marketing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and thanks Judy for bringing at least my awareness to that, because I'll be signing up later tonight for Canvas. Where are we? Marketing, Performing Arts Subcommittee update. Judy, you have an update on the Legacy Roundtables?
No. Well, I'll give you a quick update. So Michael Mondavi is the person that we actually wanted to do the very first one, and he ends up vacationing in Palm Springs in the winter. So Jeffrey and I haven't had a chance to get together, but we decided we would push it off until the spring until he could do it. And so we'll have more to follow.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. The next, Sam, you have end of the season report on Music in the Park.
Yeah, I just wanted to share, we ended our season of Music in the Park. We estimated over 3,000 people came during the summer to the 6 different concerts. We had more sponsors this year than we've ever had, which was wonderful. And we're thanking them in our upcoming newsletter, and also sending out a personal note to them at the end of the season with some pictures. So overall, very successful season. And I think the foundation laid with, how we solicited bands and went over that, and how we chose them this year was really great. So I'm looking forward to our discussion on that subcommittee at our retreat, and working together more for next year.
Yeah, that's great. And thanks to Robin, who's not here, but she did a ton of work, and it's a very successful program. Hopefully it'll just continue on and be successful next year as well. Next is the Mustard Celebration Subcommittee. Are you guys happy with that time? Mustard Celebration Subcommittee. Right. That's new. Rhonda.
So,
or any of the other, I mean, I don't know. Do you have any, whoever wants to talk? Not me.
Well, in the packet, you received, I think, the update, and so you can read that as you will. The thing I really wanted to call your attention to was the assignment of the heart scatter, which is on the second page. So you've all been assigned a date. It's kind of random on my part, including Sam. So obviously we have some time, but would you put it on your calendars so that we can lock it in amongst ourselves? And if you have any conflicts, of course, that would be understandable, and just let me know. Otherwise, we'll go with it. We might have some promotional opportunities to say this time, Jeffrey Lay is going to be scattering the arts at Yountville, or each one of us. I think it'll be a fun promotion to get behind. So, but just please do look at the at that. And the other thing I wanted to mention was the call for artists for the gallery, which is, as Jim pointed out, it's the middle of January, just about the middle of January. So it isn't that far off. And Sam is working on putting a posting for a call to artists on the website. I wanted you to have copies of the invitation, because we all have friends who are artists, and it's wide open to any artists that that you would like to include. Please do. So we'll have special people we might send a personal invitation to. You're welcome to do the same. The application and the letter is in your packet. It'll also be online for the artists, whichever comes first. So please take a look at that too. And, it's not too soon to start looking at applications and looking at the digital representation of each individual artist's art.
I'll also send the letter and the application out separately from your packet, just so it's easy for you to reference and invite anybody. So I just wanted to pipe in quickly that they will apply, send pictures of their art, and then the subcommittee will review it and choose artists. So,
and in theory, Sam, would people be able to submit multiple pieces, or I guess does that depend on how many applicants we have, or are we just looking for one piece per?
I forget what we said. What did we say?
I think they can.
I think we said one.
Yeah, they can submit more than one, but
we're only going to pick one from.
We're only going to pick.
Okay, good. That was what I wanted to make sure. Okay.
And Rhonda, just to clarify, this is really by invitation. We're not sending out a press release to the Napa Valley request, telling people they can apply, right?
Oh, okay.
I was thinking that we would, Jim.
Okay. You want to open it up and then?
Yeah, both.
Okay, do both. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a better way to make other artists aware. But certainly personal invitations go far. And I think the artists that we know, you especially, Jim, I know you work with a lot of artists, those that you would like to see submit a piece, I hope you'll contact them. And
okay.
And if we if we get overwhelmed, great, then it'll be clear who we should be moving forward with.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. I think most artists know that, don't have the expectation that just because you submit something means it's going to be a fit. Next is the Art Sip and Stroll update.
Okay, so we're here to present the concept for the Art Sip and Stroll artist. We're calling them the celebrated artists, just as Guy Buffet was 2 years ago. Nick Can was last year. And this year's a little different because we're proposing a three-dimensional Art Sip and Stroll gallery show and artist. We had talked about this concept last year where we would invite all of our sculpture artists on the art walk to submit an interior sized piece, which all artists, or most certainly, have available. They would have to ship it to us, and then we would back these pieces with a photograph of them actually working on the particular sculpture or on other sculptures from their studios. So Jim and Cindy and I got together about whether to further this concept for this year, and we agreed, let's put it out there. So I started putting it out there, and in this case we were talking maybe 5 to 7 artists, and again, not all of our artists are from the general area, so they would be shipping. We would have the expense involved in that, and also there were other expenses. By the time we added them up, it was getting quite expensive, but Sam was talking about ways we could handle that, but wasn't it was going to be around $4,000 or $5,000, I think, for a gallery show, which we really never do. So along came a conversation I was having with Ivan McLean, who, as you know, did the big yellow sphere and also Reinvention over in front of Burgundy Commons. And he said, well, of course I have gallery site, I'll send you some photos. Well, he sent about 10 photos of 10 fabulous sculptures, wood, marble, steel, powder coated steel, combinations of wood and marble. So I think Sam has 3 examples. That's 3 of many. And so Jim and Cindy and I got together and said, what do we think about making it a one-man show? And that simplifies things greatly for us on the gallery committee. And Ivan comes down from Oregon, and he can bring us the work, so that helps with the shipping. So if you have never met Ivan, get ready for a treat. This is a wall piece, by the way, but he is such a fun artist to work with, and he's been very good to us on the art walk, and as we have been back to him. But as you can see from the 3 examples that Sam is showing, they're very nice interior sculptures that are all different from each other. And so he and I are continuing the dialogue, and we're asking for you to approve him as the Art Sip and Stroll, quote, celebrated artist for 2023. We'll work on the graphics for promotion, and I don't know if you have any other questions, but the poster will be part of that. And I received 3 kind of work in progress photos of Ivan, which the type of work images that we would use as the backdrop, but we really need some actual pieces, I think, for the poster and other ongoing graphics, but we have time. So as I said, just asking for your consideration of making Ivan McLean our Art Sip and Stroll celebrated artist for 2023.
And can I just throw in from the gallery standpoint, number 1, there are going to be photographs of the artist at work, creating his sculptures, I believe. And number 2, because there's going to be wall space, it's not going to have art, but photographs. This will probably be the first gallery exhibit that I'm aware of that we're actually curating. We're creating it from scratch. We're not just throwing artist art on the walls, but we're doing a kind of a creative approach to celebrating this artist.
I think one of the wonderful things about that is it's different. It hasn't been done before. I think we've been very unique you've been very unique, excuse me, in the selections you've been making for the gallery. And once again, it's just a wonderful opportunity to promote things and encourage people to come and visit us, because it's not the same old every few months when we have a new show. And as an homage to our art walk, I was thinking a fun name for it would be, what we are basically bringing our art walk from outside in, and rather than what we usually say inside out, that we might call this event outside in.
Which is what we were going to call it last year.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. And it's just a great idea, and it's colorful, and I personally love everything that the 3 of you have put together.
I also really like the idea, the diversity of his pieces, and the fact that you are really curating the show rather than putting pieces up. I think that also advances what we're doing and takes us to in another step that I think would be a real addition. So I'm totally support this.
Thank you.
And maybe we can do something really creative with the artwork, like a hologram or something. I'm just throwing that out, but something that helps bring the 3-dimensional to life in the poster. Noelle, you probably have some great ideas around that.
Sounds awfully expensive to me, but we'll definitely look into it.
Okay. Any other? I think we're good. So I'll make a motion that we feature Ivan McLean as the featured artist for the gallery in conjunction with Art Sip and Stroll.
I second it.
Oh, Jeffrey, I've been waiting to second all night. You got me again.
I removed my second. I defer to Noelle.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. I love this. I love this gallery show. It's really great. And it's really wonderful to have it in conjunction with Art Sip and Stroll. So I second that motion.
All right, thank you. We'll go ahead and
A lot of
vote.
exposition.
Commissioner Hudson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lay,
Approve.
Commissioner Share,
Yes.
Commissioner Resnick,
Yes. I lost my whole screen there for a minute.
Vice Chair McDonald,
Yes.
and Chair Caption.
Yes.
Thank you.
You forgot me.
Oh, damn it.
Uh,
Dang it. Commissioner Meredith,
Yes.
how do I keep forgetting someone? Thank you.
It's okay.
Okay.
Speak up, Sam. No worries.
I know.
We got everybody.
Everybody forget it.
People are getting very creative in this group.
We're getting
Okay.
very punchy in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the sun setting over Judy and next is any staff informational reports.
Just really quickly, I should have done it in the beginning, but it's not my meeting. But I did want to introduce Taylor Solis. She met a few of you previously in our meeting. We had a short meeting about the Hearts Project. But Taylor is working part-time for us as our marketing specialist for Yountville Arts. So she's been learning a lot, spending a lot of time with Danielle before she leaves us for the chamber. And she and I are working closely together. So she's here. She'll be in your meetings taking lots of notes about all the things she gets to promote. So thanks, Taylor. We're excited to have you. And then our October 3rd will be a short meeting business and then followed by our retreat. And so I'm kind of waiting to see the weather. Whether we'll be indoors, outdoors, but we'll be in person here at the community center somewhere. And I'll be in touch as Cindy and I finish up the agenda for that and think about meals and everything. So hopefully y'all have that on your calendar, but it should be really productive use of your time. That's always my goal.
Sam, what's the time of that again? Can you remind us?
We were gonna start at 3.
That's what okay.
3 to 7. Yeah.
That's what I had. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does that work? Do we start off in the town hall when we have our meeting and then move to our retreat, or do we just discuss our?
No, we'll just I mean, the meeting in the retreat has to be open to the public anyways, so it'll just be agendized for to be in person at the community center.
And it's open then. It's
Yeah,
open.
open.
Got it. Okay.
But we won't be live. There will be no live stream or video of it. So yeah.
Can I ask a question? Oh. Go ahead. Now, my quick question. So is the town council close to going live with meetings?
Yeah, so they're returning on the 20th, next Tuesday. And so following that, everything we're doing can then be in person again. So our next Arts Commission meeting plans to be in person. We also have our board and commission dinner coming up. I think most of you have replied to that RSVP for this 22nd. But yes, starting the 20th, council will be in person, and then our meetings will start being in person again.
Sam, I have a quick question about that. I RSVP'd and I keep getting invitations asking me to RSVP. Is there a problem?
Thing.
So we sent out a save the date a while ago, and I think it had an RSVP attached, but then I sent out an actual invitation. So maybe that was the confusion.
Okay.
What is it again, Sam? I'm sorry, I missed.
Oh, the board and commission and volunteer appreciation dinner. We didn't quite some time, but we're doing it in the fall now because we wanted to make sure to include the current council before we have a big change. So.
And what is the date again, Sam? I'm sorry.
It's Thursday, September 22nd. You're one person I was going to reach out to directly because some people it goes in their spam. It's coming from Evite. So I'll follow up with you too, Judy.
Thank you.
It looks like you hadn't opened it. Yeah.
Sam, last year the way you had the retreat set up was really nice. Yeah. So if we can do it that way again, weather and so forth, I would sure encourage
as long
that.
as it's not too hot, I think we can definitely plan to be in the back there.
Cool.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Any other reports, commissioner comments, or should we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I second that.
Wow.
All right. We can all in favor this one. Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
everyone.
A good meeting.
See you
Bye.
Thursday.
Good night, everybody. See you.
Okay.
Look forward to seeing y'all in person soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye.